Hello everyone. Today's video is about a very common topic in English grammar, active and passive voice. Students usually get to learn it or they get introduced to this topic of grammar in the middle school. And then by the time they come to high school, they have to merely use this knowledge of voice change to apply it in transformation of sentences. Regardless of boards, this is a crucial grammar topic which helps you build a sound knowledge of English language and how you would use it in different ways, how you are going to use English language in different ways in your day-to-day life. A lot has been spoken about voice change. You get this topic in each and every grammar book. Yet, it's really unfortunate that when get students who come to me in the high school level, many are unaware of the nitty-gritties of voice change. I say nitty-gritties because in voice change you have to remember a number of things simultaneously when you are changing a sentence in the active voice to a passive voice and vice versa. I'm trying to explain these nitty-gritties, which are nothing but the basic rules of voice change. What I find is the rules are dictated in schools. Students write them down in their copies. In every good grammar book that we follow, the teachers follow, the students follow. The rules are given in a elaborate way with examples in each case. But thing is that when it comes to usage of those rules, many rules they pertain to disappear from our mind. And I'm talking about most students who face this problem. They remember one rule and they forget the other. So, in this session, I'm trying to discuss them with the help of examples and in a more lucid way, simple way for students to understand and apply them properly in their usage. Now, remember one thing, this knowledge of active and passive helps you, as I told you earlier also, helps you write a better English. And whenever you're learning a language, your main aim is to use that language in as perfect a way as possible. Okay, so without going into further details of what voice changes, let me start directly with the techniques of remembering them, the rules of active and passive voice. Now, first thing, how will you identify a sentence which is in the active voice or in the passive voice? Now, as the name suggests, active. Active means one who is in action. So, in the sentence, if you find the subject in action, that sentence becomes an active voice. I am writing an answer. Here, I is the subject and I is active. I is in action. I am writing an answer. And then another sentence, an answer is being written by me. Here, subject is an answer, but answer is not in action. The action has been passively done by me. An answer is being written by me. Then this becomes the passive voice. Sentence in passive voice. Another shortcut method to recognize a passive voice, a sentence in passive voice, is the usage of the word by. But then again, a few sentences you'll have where it is in passive voice but the word by is not mentioned. It's called omission of agent, and in that case you cannot bank on this word by. For example, someone stole the watch. The watch was stolen. We don't write by someone. So the watch was stolen. So in such sentences, how will you recognize? Then you have to apply what I said. The watch was stolen. Here subject is watch, but watch is not in action. Watch is not stealing itself. So the watch was stolen. This is a passive voice because the subject is not in action. So the best way is to see whether the subject is doing any work or not. If it is doing a work, then the sentence is in the active voice. If it is not doing any work, then the sentence is in the passive voice. Now, I'll gradually enter into the rules of transformation. I will not make a list of the rules. You will find that in any good grammar book or even when it is done in your school. I would rather discuss some examples. And from examples, I will go to the rules and I'll just mention the rules. Because my target is to make you people grow a sense of application rather than just mug up the rules and apply it wrong or you forget them not to use when you're actually using it. Okay. Now, I have in front of me a number of examples. I have just arbitrarily written them. The first sentence is, please pay attention. The first sentence is, Srijita writes a letter. Here, the subject is Srijita. Let us first find out if she is doing any work. Yes, Srijita is doing a work. She is writing a letter. So this sentence is in the active voice. Now, what is the verb here? Action word here is writes. What is its tense? Its tense is simple present tense. Srijita writes. What is she writing? A letter. So if Srijita is the subject, then a letter is the object. Now we have understood that this is a sentence in the active voice. Srijita writes a letter. Now this sentence needs to be changed to passive voice. Suppose you have been asked to change this sentence into passive voice. What we do is we bring the object to the place of the subject and we take the subject to the place of the object. So in that case, we begin with a letter and then at the end we write by Srijita. Now what shall we write in the middle? Beginning is a letter and at the end by Srijita. Now pay attention to the word writes. As I told you, it is in simple present tense. Now I am gradually coming to the rule that it's a thumb rule. It's a must do rule that in whichever tense the verb in the active voice is, when you are converting it into a passive voice, you have to change it to past participle form. So write, past participle form is written. Okay, so we write this written. So just before by Srijita we write written. So how does the sentence in the passive stand now? Srijita, then a blank, then no, I'm sorry, a letter, then blank, then written by Srijita. Now in between you have to insert the helping verb. Why is this important? Why is this helping verb important? Because this will indicate the original tense of the sentence. That means what tense it was in the active voice. Because by looking at the word written, you cannot understand in which tense it is, because it is always in the past participle form. So now comes the question of which helping verb should I use here? A letter dash written by Srijita. Now since the original word was writes, WRITES, so it is, as I told you, in the simple present, I will use is. Now why is? Again, a letter, this is a subject, so for letter we will use is. Why? Because this is third person. So when we are considering the subject, we have to also consider its person and also number. Number means singular or plural. If it was like this, Srijita wrote 2 letters, or Srijita writes 2 letters. In that case, 2 letters are written by Srijita. Okay, but here it is a letter, so a letter is written by Srijita. Okay. So the active voice sentence, Srijita writes a letter, now comes as in the passive voice, a letter is written by Srijita. So this word is, this helping verb is, indicates that the original sentence was in the simple present tense. You might get the vice versa sentence, that is, you might get to change into active voice. Again, this helping verb comes into your help. That is, a letter, suppose you get this sentence, a letter is written by Srijita. So you are asked to change into active now. So you bring the subject to the object's place and you take the object to the subject's place. That is, Srijita writes a letter. So you get back to that active voice sentence. I will take now help of another sentence with a different tense. In the following sentence, we will see how present perfect tense is dealt with. The sentence is, pay attention, Parishi has written a letter. I repeat, Parishi has written a letter. So has written, this is the indicator of present perfect tense. Again, we do it quickly. We bring the object to the subject and the subject to the object. We write a letter and then by Parishi. In between we will write has been written by Parishi. So a letter has been written by Parishi. You get it? Okay. So extra word we bring here is been, B-E-E-N, been. We go to the next sentence. Nishtha wrote a letter. I repeat, Nishtha wrote a letter. Here again, we see the tense is WROTE, wrote, that is simple tense, simple past tense. Okay, so Nishtha wrote a letter, simple past tense. Again, we quickly interchange the position of subject and object. A letter in front and by Nishtha at the end. In between, we have to indicate. Now, in case of simple present, in the first sentence, we had used is. Now, here we will use was. A letter was written by Nishtha. Okay. Next sentence. Srijita had written a letter. Had written. Okay. So, again, quickly we interchange. A letter had been written by Srijita. Now we go over to future tense. Parishi will write a letter. A letter will be written by Parishi. Now, in both these sentences, like Parishi will write a letter and a letter will be written by Parishi, we see that the subject and the object both are in the third person. That is why will doesn't change. Will, will, this word doesn't change. Parishi will write a letter will be written by Parishi. But suppose instead of Parishi that it was I shall write a letter. Then I'm coming to that also. In that case, the sentences, the helping verb will and shall, they will be different. Okay, I'm coming to that. So this sentence I repeat, Parishi will write a letter will be written by Parishi. Now we come to plural third person subject. Same sentence with a change in the subject's person and number also. The sentence is they will write a letter. They will write a letter. So we quickly interchange. Now note, they will become them. Okay, by they we don't write. They will become them. I becomes me. He becomes him. She becomes her. Okay, whenever it is in the object form, the pronouns they change. So they will write a letter. This is the sentence. We quickly interchange. A letter will be written by them. A letter will be written by them. Okay. Next, we shall write a letter. We shall write a letter. Here, subject is we, and the helping verb used here with we is shall. Now, when we are changing it to passive voice, we are writing a letter will be written by us. If we write a letter shall be written by us, we'll be wrong. Why? Because helping verb used for letter is will, and helping verb used for we is shall. Okay, that is why you have to keep this in mind. These are the small nitty-gritties which you have to remember. Okay, so we shall write a letter. A letter will be written by us. We will become us. This also you have to change. Next, I shall write a letter. So it will be a letter will be written by me. I will become me. Then she will write a letter. A letter will be written by her. Then he will write a letter. A letter will be written by him. Now, let us, for a change, think about the same sentence in the interrogative mode. What is an interrogative mode? Question form. For example, did he write a letter? Okay, did he write a letter? Question mark. Now how to change this? It is the helping verb here is did, that has been used for he. This is a bit of thinking you require. See, process is same. He will become is the subject here, it will become the object, and letter will become the subject. So when you are changing a letter to subject in the question form, you cannot write did, because did is an active verb. Did he write a letter? Now for letter you cannot use did. Did a letter you cannot write. So what will be the simple past for letter? Was. So was a letter written by him. He will become him. I repeat. Was a letter written by him? And don't forget to put that question mark. It is very important. Even if you write the entire sentence correct and you forget that question mark, you don't get any marks. Okay. So, was a letter written by him? Question mark. So, did he write a letter will become was a letter written by him. Another sentence. Had she written a letter? This is from did to had. Okay. Here it is easier because you can use the same helping verb for passive also. How? Had a letter been written by her? Had a letter been, B-E-E-N, been, written by her? Question mark. Okay, so had she written a letter? Not much change. You have to only bring in the word been, B-E-E-N, been. So had a letter been written by her? Question mark. The same sentence with Srijita. Srijita writes a letter can be converted into a question sentence, okay, an interrogative sentence. Did Srijita write a letter? Did Srijita write a letter? So, was a letter written by Srijita? Okay. So, in this way, you can get question sentences, interrogative sentences. Now, before ending the session, I am asking you to try out one sentence by yourself. You can write the answer in the comment. Okay. The sentence is, who will write the letter? Question mark. I repeat, who will write the letter? Question mark. Please write the answer in the comment box. Have a nice day.